All right, so these are Pythagorean theorem notes. And we have a hippopotamus and we have a right triangle. Okay, our hippopotamus is a large creature and the hippo is supported by its legs. And in our right triangle, our longest side is the hypotenuse, kind of like hippopotamus, and it gets supported by its legs. And every time you see this right angle, you're going to draw an arrow to point to that longest side, the hypotenuse, and it's going to be represented by the letter C. The legs are A and B, and it doesn't matter which is which. Now with this theorem, it's going to be A squared plus B squared equals to C squared. So we have our, it has to be used in a right triangle. Can't be used in any other triangle. The longest side is the hypotenuse, which is C. All right, so the way that this works is you have a right triangle, and that's right here. And the theorem is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And what we have is these literally squares. And this is a 3 by 3 square, so this has an area of 9. This square here is a 4 by 4 square, so it has an area of 16. This is a 5 by 5 square, so it has an area of 25. And the way this works is if we square side length A, which is 3 units, that's 3 squared, and we add, this is A, this is B, cross from the right angle C. Side length B is 4 units, and C is 5 units. So if we square these side lengths, we're going to get 9 plus 16 and 25. When I add that together, I get 25 equals to 25. This is how a theorem works. It takes the area of the two smaller sides, adds them together, and it equals the area of the larger side. All right, so here's just some triangles to practice labeling. Across from the right angle is C. The other sides are A and B. Okay, always draw your arrow because C's very important. All right, so here is a word problem. The legs of a right triangle measure 3 inches and 4 inches. What is the length of the hypotenuse? All right, we need our right triangle. So since it's not here, I'm going to draw it. All right, and it says my legs are 3 and 4, and I'm solving for the hypotenuse, which is C. So I'm going to plug these numbers in, 3 squared plus 4 squared, and that's going to give me this hypotenuse. And 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, and I add those together and I get 25. All right, but this is C squared. That's that square that comes out. I don't want that. I just want the side length. All right, so when I'm solving equations, I always do the inverse operation. So to undo adding, I subtract. To undo multiplying, I divide. To undo squaring a number, we take the square root. And the square root of 25 is 5. So this side length over here is 5. All right, so this one, the hypotenuse of a right triangle is 10 inches, and one of its legs is 8. Again, I need to draw a picture. The hypotenuse is 10. One of the legs is 8, so I'm solving for that other leg. All right, so when I put this in, I'm going to solve for A. So A squared plus 8 squared equals to 10 squared. And when I solve for C, like I did above, I'm going to add. But when I solve for one of the legs, I'm going to wind up subtracting, because if I were to solve this equation, I would subtract this part off. Okay, so it would say A squared is equal to 10 squared minus 8 squared. All right, and I can put everything in the calculator at one time, because I'm going to square root, square it, and subtract it. So I can put everything in like this. Okay, so the blue second button, x squared, 10 squared minus 8 squared gives me 6. So my side length is 6. So A is 6, which in this case is inches. All right, my other example here, example 3, the base of a 26-foot ladder stands 24 feet from a house. How many feet up the side of the house does the ladder reach? Okay, there's no picture, there's no mention of a right triangle, so I just need to draw a picture of the problem. And the problem is about a house, and my house is sitting on land, and where the house and land meet is perpendicular, so that's a right angle, and I have a ladder that leans against the house. So once I draw my picture, then I see my right triangle. And then I can start labeling. So the ladder's 26 feet, and it's 24 feet from the house. So I'm going to solve for A. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And since I'm solving for one of the legs, I'm going to wind up subtracting. And you have to put the hypotenuse first, or you'll get an error in the calculator. So blue second button, x squared, 26 squared minus 24 squared. And that's going to give me a side length of 10. So this is 10, which in this case is feet.